The man, the myth, the legend, the Cage. The Cage Rage. And Jasper. Although Jasper actually isn't part of the main news piece. Just, yeah. Nicolas Cage has weighed in on the Rust movie tragedy. I always find this interesting when a fellow actor, someone in the industry, part of the zeitgeist, as it were, part of the clique, weighs in on a situation which is incredibly damning. Or potentially not, depending on their take. But this is genuinely quite interesting. Obviously, the Rust movie, I've covered it extensively. The shooting was an absolute tragedy, led to the death of Paulina Hutchins. Awful stuff, and Alec Baldwin has been being very strange ever since. His New Year's address, I didn't bother making a video about it, but he was very odd in that. He even addressed it there. Please just stop talking. Well, I mean, keep talking if you want, but you're digging yourself a massive hole. He's had his phone, had a warrant out for his phone. It's all a bit of a mayhem from here. We haven't heard any updates since. And that's been a good couple of weeks now, so it is one of those surprising things. However, the Cage Rage himself, the man, the myth, the legend, has weighed in on the subject. Now, why is this important? Well, it's interesting. It's interesting when fellow actors talk about fellow actors, because there is a divide in Hollywood. There is a left versus right divide in Hollywood. And Nicolas Cage is one of those interesting individuals where he was sort of pushed out of Hollywood. Partly because of himself and his weird actions. But he's a very likeable guy. I like his movies. He's just one of these... He is almost like a... he's like an icon, isn't he? He's like a cult classic icon nowadays. And side note, I reviewed the movie Pig, which is an exceptionally good film from Nicolas Cage, where he plays this sort of disenfranchised chef. It's not like John Wick, how the trailer's made out. Beautifully put together film. Definitely worthy of an Academy nomination, actually. It was very, very, very good. And it almost seemed like he was kind of back on track there. But I digress. Let's take a look. So, Nicolas Cage has weighed in on the Alec Baldwin Rust shooting. Actors need to know how to use a gun and know what the procedure is. So, it's interesting, isn't it? Because he's basically saying there's no excuse. No, actors do need to know how to use them, and no, there's no excuse. So Academy Award-winning actor, which, FYI, a lot of people seem to forget that, like, he actually was an Academy Award winner. Like, he's just become this meme, but he has done good films. I always put Con Air. Fucking love Con Air. Was it like Cyrus the Virus? Con Air is amazing. Love it. If you haven't watched Con Air, kids, watch Con Air. You want to see Nicolas Cage with like long flowing locks in a vest? Not that many people want to watch that, but you do. You want to watch Con Air. He's a weapon. His hands are a weapon in that movie. It's a good film. Anyway, Academy Award-winning actor Nicolas Cage recently weighed in on the shooting incident involving Alec Baldwin on the set of Rust, asserting that all actors need to know how to use a gun. I don't think that's too much to ask realistically. I do think it's like slightly different because, of course, people, yeah, sure, actors do need to know how to use a gun. I think ultimately, actors are dumbass actors. But if you are holding a gun and it's not just a plastic prop, i.e. it is a prop gun, an actual gun, prop being property of the company, you should probably be trained on how to use them, Like, Keanu Reeves is very good with a gun, and there's never been any incident on John Wick, has there? So he said the following: I don't want to cast blame anywhere, but I do think, and I'm not talking about anybody, but people don't like the word movie star, Cage explained during a recent appearance on the Hollywood Reporter's Round Tables, when the topic of safety on movie sets was brought up by host and senior THR editor of film, Rebecca Keegan. Now, he said this: we want to be humble actors, but a movie star is a bit of a different kind of presentation, he asserted. He has such a wonderful way of talking. Oh, it's Con Air! There you go. Long locks. Anyway, the actor continued. You need to know how to ride a horse. You need to know how to fight if you're going to do fight scenes. You need to know how to ride a motorcycle. You need to know how to use a stick shift and drive sports cars. And you do need to know how to use a gun. You do. You need to take the time to know what the procedure is, Cage further noted, adding that said procedures are part of the job profiles and that the stuntman and the movie star are two jobs that coexist. I mean, perfect. You know, aside from all of the nonsense that, you know, circulates Nicolas Cage, like buying dinosaur skulls and all this kind of crap. It's such a odd life that man has led. Odd life, but what a legend. Aside from all of that, he's very eloquently pointing out that, yeah, no, you should need to know, you need to know how to use all these things. Of course you do. You're a jack of all trades. You need to know how to use them. Before concluding his assessment, the actor would reiterate, every stuntman needs to be a movie star and every movie star needs to be a stuntman. What a very, very well put way of saying it. I hadn't looked at it like that. That's great. That's really, really good. That's just part of the profile, and that's all I'm going to say about it. So Cage has been quite a handful of, has been in loads of action films that have required him to handle guns on set, including, you know, Con Air, Face Off, Kick-Ass, and The Rock. The Rock is another great film. Actually, one of the few Michael Bay films I like. I think it was Michael Bay, alongside Pain and Gain, which is a very funny film. Amongst many, many others, and as such, it's unsurprising that he definitely knows what he's talking about. Which, yeah, true. Like he absolutely does know. And just, you know, just to briefly recap the situation that happened. This has been going on since October of last year. Alec Baldwin shot and killed Helena Hutchins, the director of photography, on the set of Rust, and also injured the director Joel Souza. Now, ever since that event has happened, the actor's gone on record crazily saying he doesn't feel responsible and he doesn't feel guilt and things like that for killing his colleague. I mean, I understand why he said it, but it's a bad look. You just shouldn't have said anything, quite frankly. And this is what he said in the interview. He said, someone is responsible for what happened and I can't say who that is, but I know it's not me. I mean, God, terrible. I've been told by people who are in the know that it's highly unlikely I would be charged with anything criminally. And then the DA came out and was like, certain individuals may be criminally culpable for his or her actions and or inactions on the set of Rust. Yeah. I'm going to exercise my prosecutorial discretion to its fullest, including filing charges that are supported by probable cause. Various legal theories are ongoing at this time. Basically saying you should probably shut your mouth, to Alec Baldwin. And again, I'm not going to, deep dive into this interview again. There's so many situations that happened with that interview. It was an absolute shitstorm, and I really should have done a live stream to talk about it and break it down. But Nicolas Cage is absolutely right, and what an eloquently put comment, basically saying, quite bluntly saying every stuntman needs to be a movie star and every movie star needs to be a stuntman, because they do coincide. They literally just cross over to one another. So there you go. I think his points are completely justified. I think they're completely right. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. If you are new here, do hit subscribe, give the video a like, and please do share it. I will, as always, update you on anything to do with this Rust shooting tragedy, because it is just a tragedy and we need to talk about it. And the updates are just fascinating. I would have expected an update by now, but that remains to be seen. Let me know what you think, though. Cheers. Take care.